good point, Key MTG. One thing I want to point out is with the addition of Fatal Push, Ban Eldrazi definitely picks up a power boost because there's less terminates in any given room now. So I think they're so Jeskai Delver, I think, or maybe Grixis. Max Jones clearly not as good as his younger brother Kevin. They're not really brothers. They just coincidentally have the same last name.
We know that Adam is on the black-white Eldrazi taxes. I think we're still trying to check. It looks like Grixis Delver from Max Jones. So we're still waiting on his deck list from upstairs, but based on what we see, probably Grixis Delver variant.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. Like I don't see them branching into 4 colors in Modern, not without Deathrite Shaman.
Yep.
Rip.
Good times with Deathrite Shamans when you can play Modern.
I mean, I've had games in Modern where I had like double Deathrite Shaman and Grim Lavamancer, and there's a rested piece on the floor, so I was just kind of attacking with Squires. So
Sure.
Everyone says it was too powerful. I don't agree. I agree that the ability to cast Liliana a turn earlier was probably too powerful. That I'll concede to. But I don't think it was Deathrite Shaman himself.
There were plenty of problems with Deathrite Shaman, but I don't think.
I think we're looking at it at different angles.
Yeah. I had some friends that played at the first Modern Pro Tour Seattle, and they actually had discovered the Jund deck with Deathrite Shaman, and most of them did horribly. They said that even though you could, this was back, mind you, folks, when Modern had both Deathrite Shaman and Bloodbraid Elf, and they had said that they were just getting slaughtered. They had not even close to the best deck. Because you had people playing, like, the Infect decks, the Splinter Twin decks, like, those decks were just way over the top in terms of power.
Yeah, we didn't have Abrupt Decay back then either. And that was a huge game, I think, for the Twin matchup.
No. There was. Because that was when Return to Ravnica came out, right? Because Deathrite Shaman and...
Okay.
So we do have Max Jones' deck list here. A pretty standard Grixis Delver deck. Very similar to Kevin. 4 Delver Secrets, 4 Snapcaster Mages, 2 Young Pyromancers, 2 Taskers, 2 Garmega Anglers as the creatures of choice, and then lots of very cheap interaction spells.
This looks very similar to Kevin Jones's list.
I agree.
This is probably where he got it from. He probably got a deck list from Kevin Jones at one of his recent tournaments.
All right, so here we do see an early Thought-Knots here. Unable to flip his Delvers. Nowhere near as lucky. I can only assume that he'll probably get pretty lucky next turn since he flashbacks Hero Visions. Probably stack the deck in his favor.
I would say for sure we should be flipping Delver next turn. I don't think we keep any card on top other than... It's just got to be a removal spell for like Thought-Knots here. Right. That's the only thing I can think of. That's what I would keep on top at this point, and then those flip Delvers, and we can start attacking with Delver.
Thought-Knots here is one of those cards where I feel like when it snuck through D&D or R&D, not quite sure what they were thinking. It's like...
I think we get that every once in a while.
We get that, but there's like a series of creatures where you're kind of looking at what was R&D thinking. It's obviously going to cost us 4 mana, 4/4. Nothing to write home about, but you have like a duress type effect on top.
Yeah.
Probably makes it too good. Here we do have a
Wasteland Strangler.
Yep. Definitely a throwback to kind of the original iterations of the Eldrazi decks with Relic of Progenitus, ways to kind of process cards and...
Yeah. I think we did that a little backwards.
Yeah. Counter Squalls in this graveyard.
Yeah, Counter Squalls in the graveyard. We put a card from the exile back into the graveyard.
It's a processor, not an ingester.
Yeah. I don't think Max has ever played against a card like this before because Max hasn't played any standard at all recently.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he's probably not used to how the processors work.
Yep.
Dismember. Perfect.
Definitely lucky.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Not quite as good as Kevin Jones, but...
Less lucky, but still lucky.
Yeah.
So here we have a pretty serious clock going. We have a real racing situation here. It's 2 Delvers. Definitely a serious clock. Adam goes down to 9 here, but we have 2 big Eldrazi monsters coming back.
Yeah.
So
the Wasteland Strangler, equivalent to one of the Delvers, right? Both 3/2 bodies.
Yep.
The Thought Nazi is a little bit bigger, and it seems that Adam had the initiative on damage, so he's going to be a little bit quicker at being able to knock down Max's life total, but we have the Dismember in hand.
Yeah, we do know about the Dismember, and it does look like if this Delver
we had
flips
another
next turn.
Delver. So we're going to be able to cast Delver, Dismember the Thought Nazi here, and then be able to draw a card off of that.
Yeah, and then if this Delver does flip next turn, that is lethal for Max.
Yeah.
So.
Also, I mean, Flicker Wisp is good. I'll reset a Delver of Secrets real quick.
You can flicker his... Or no, this Wasteland Striker is a cast effect. Is it cast or is it when it comes up?
No, I think Wasteland Striker is an ATB.
Okay. Okay, so he could reset the Wasteland Strangler. You could just find this card real quick. So actually...
Yeah, enters the battlefield.
Okay. So it's actually a pretty close game still. He gets to come in for some damage, reset his Wasteland Strangler as a blocker, kill a Delver.
Kill 2 Delvers if he can block with the Flicker Wisp.
Yes, that is true. So he can trade. Very, very close game. Not quite sure who has the advantage here.
I think it's still a little bit in Max's favor because we have the 3rd Delver of Secrets.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 2 flying bodies on the floor. Gonna hit the end step. Wasteland Strangler is going to process the Serum Visions, hit one of the Delver of Secrets, put that into the graveyard. But this does help Max out, as Max is now able to cast a Gurmag Angler at a discounted price.
Mm-hmm. Or a Tasker or anything that would be in his hand. Zealy does... Definitely lucky. Definitely lucky.
Right. I heard you liked discounted Gurmag Anglers.
Yep. So he's looking to trade with 1. So most of the threats, most of the Delvers pretty cleanly dealt with. So now it's a big Gurmag Angler versus a Wasteland Striker, and Max is still hitting in the air with the Delver Secrets.
Yep.
Probably still in Max's favor, but we'll have to see what Adam still has up his.
If we have another black source in hand somewhere, we can probably maybe get multiple Delve creatures onto the floor. But I think just the Gurmag Angler by itself is going to be very hard for Adam to deal with.
Right. It can, especially since it can just straight up trade with the Reality Smasher.
Yeah.
Not that Adam can necessarily attack because he is a little bit behind on life and on board. So
yeah, but we can't block the Delver as it stands. So, the only other option we have is to attack.
Shout out to Max. He is playing with, it looks like Beta Bolts and Beta Basics. This man has some base.
Again,
yeah.
I mentioned that this man is much into Legacy. He loves his Legacy decks. He's a Miracles player in Legacy.
Okay.
So he's got some fairly nice Magic cards.
Yeah. So his basic game is on point. Point. Got to play the betas. You guys want to get lucky? Flip your Delvers. Play betas.
The bolts help too.
Yeah, the bolts help too. Have some respect for the game.
Bro, I have APAC forests and foreign black border swamps. All right.
I'm just saying, like we have full art Zenicar over here, and this man has betas. Like I know who I'm rooting for. It does. I do see a Reality Smasher in hand. I don't think that's quite good enough.
No, I think we need a removal spell here. If we have a path, I think we have a much better time. We can path the Gurmag and then keep going. Displacer's good.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
The displacer
we can
does
flicker the Delver. Hope it doesn't flip.
You can flicker inside combat.
Yeah.
So the only question is, maybe you have to take the hit from Delver and flicker the Gurmag Angler, since you have no way to deal with that.
Maybe, but then we're dead to Lightning Bolt. But we can flicker the Delver and double block the Gurmag Angler.
I think the problem is if you lose your
Displacer, we're in trouble.
I think if we lose our Displacer, then we're in trouble, so...
Ooh, okay. We have a bunch of cards in exile. We can flicker the Wasteland Strangler, kill the Delver.
Okay.
and not lose either of our
Okay,
permanents.
okay, that's pretty good. So let's see if Max is able to break up this interaction here. This is definitely a spicy little combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially Adam is getting close to a point where if he untaps, he can start doing it twice.
Yeah.
And with Gurmag Angler and with how many cards were dealt with Gurmag Angler, there's no shortage of food, as it were, for the Wasteland Strangler to just continue to process. And if he can keep on doing this, he definitely feels like he can make some headway. Especially on the ground. Max is tapped out.
Yeah. If Max has a removal spell here, then naturally we can disrupt what's going on. Yeah, we got to terminate. Okay. Good on Max.
Puts Adam down to 2. Does he have Lightning Bolt to finish it off?
I think if we had Lightning Bolt, we might have been able to cast that earlier. But Tazagir delving a few cards here is also phenomenal. So now we don't have much to do with the Displacer.
Yep.
We would have to... Can Temple tap for 2 to activate abilities?
I believe it can. I think it's either to cast Eldrazi spells or to activate.
Yeah, if Temple can tap for 2, then we have enough mana to flicker twice. Yeah.
Or activate abilities of colorless Eldrazi.
Yeah, so we have enough to flicker twice and block one of the creatures.
Let's see what Adam has going here.
It's like we have a new black-white fast land, a Cavern of Souls, and a Reality Smasher. Oh no, Tidehollow Sculler.
Does he... Let's see. So Max currently Hellbent. So if he... Is he on the Flicker 2 creatures chump block plan?
I think we have to be at this point, unless we had a path. Well, I guess he could play Tidehollow Sculler and then flicker with the remaining mana.
But he needs to be able to flicker twice. That's
Yeah, well, no, he's got 2 chump blockers if he plays the Tidehollow Sculler, so you could chump Tazagir, chump Gurmag Angler, flicker the Delver.
Sure.
But I don't think it's as powerful as double flicker.
Yeah, I think the problem is if he loses a Displacer, I don't think he has a chance of winning the game.
No, and I don't think there's any line that can keep the Displacer on the floor at this point. So I think we're just in too much trouble.
Yep. He sees it right on the wall, swoops it up.
Adam agrees with me. This was a pretty solid match, I think, all the way around. I think somebody mentioned how they weren't a huge fan of when Adam Thought Not Seared Max, that he took the second copy of the Gurmag Angler. Because I think redundant copies of Delve creatures aren't all that great in hand.
Right.
And he's got a Snapcaster Mage in hand, and you can just take the Snapcaster Mage.
Right, they have pretty severe diminishing returns.
Especially when he's got no lands in hand, and he's got a Serum Visions in the graveyard. So
real quick, let's kind of scroll while the players are going through. What do you like? Let's start with the Grixis deck, since we can do a quick rundown of that. What do you like here?
Blood Moon's probably pretty good against this deck. You know, you shut off the Eldrazi lands, you shut off, you know, any of the shenanigans that he's got going, and he doesn't have any red in his deck, so that's pretty good. I like the Thoughtseizes. You know, it's a way to be able to try to keep up with the fast mana draws out of an Eldrazi deck. And
preemptively stopping the Thought Not Seers, Reality Smashers, Displacers, etc.
And maybe Painful Truce is pretty good. P and Kieran Nalaar is probably okay as well. But I can't see anything else out of the sideboard. Maybe some Counterspell, Dispel action, depending on what we think we're going to be seeing from our opponent as well. But yeah, that's really it.
I'm inclined to say Painful Truce might be a little bit ambitious. I don't think he really has time to set up those draws.
Especially on the draw, I think. If we're on the play, maybe. You know what I mean? Because we have the initiative at that point. But
yeah. I think he definitely has a lot of play. Blood Moon, clearly the best card. If you can land early Blood Moon, it's very likely that you can just shut them out of the game. Yeah. So
you can just removal spell one of their 1, 2, or 3 plays and then untap Blood Moon. Then you should be in a pretty good spot.
From the Death and Taxes side, Bram Fortthunder, Gideon, Rest in Peace, Corefire Walker, Worship, Blessed Alliance, Zealous Persecution, Stony Silence. I definitely think the rest of pieces are pretty good. He just wants them. He wants it to come down fast. It shuts off Snapcaster Mage, shuts off Gurmag Angler, Tasigur. All these are very, very powerful things. So an early rest in peace, definitely very powerful. Beyond that, Zealous Persecution is a good way to deal with Snapcaster Mage, Young Pyromancer, Delver Secrets. The problem is it's a little weak against the Delve creatures.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's possible he might want Blessed Alliance. It seems a little bit on the slow side.
No, I think we want Blessed Alliance. Grixis, especially the Delver decks, tend to be a bit more aggressive than not, and it's another way to get Tasigur and Gurmag Angler off the floor.
Right.
I mean, you have other things. You have like your processor can get rid of the Young Pyromancer and try to keep tokens off the floor. You can get rid of the Delvers, get rid of those, and your Blessed Alliance and your Paths can start taking care of the bigger creatures. And gaining 4 life against a Lightning Bolt Snapcaster Mage deck is always effective.
Right. So, let's see. Ideas on what goes out. I imagine Tide Hollow Scholar probably comes out of the Death and Taxes deck. Probably a little bit too much of a liability, trying to take a card and then just losing it to Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push.
Yeah, I think there's just too many efficient removal spells on Max's side to want the Scullers. I can see wanting the Scullers just to be able to help with your Thought Knot Seer draw.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think Max cuts? Like, again, the Grixis Delver deck.
I think Collective Brutality is a little weak in this matchup. Counter Squall is probably not great. Your Fatal Pushes are still pretty good against this deck.
You have plenty of cheap targets that you want to...
Yeah.
So
here's the Thoughtseize like I was talking about. Yeah.
So turn 1 Aether Vial, turn 1 Thoughtseize. Kind of a different start from what we've seen.
Absolutely.
So Max a little bit on the reactive plan. Adam looks like they kind of had a role reversal, as it were.
Yeah.
So normally we would kind of expect Adam to be on the slower pace game, trying to react to what Max is doing. But here it looks like Max is kind of gone on defensive, trying to whittle down his opponent, and Adam looks like he's trying to get ahead quickly with Aether Vial.
Yeah, Aether Vial is one of the ways that we can get around a Blood Moon draw.
Mm-hmm.
But Max does have Kolgan's commands. He's readily equipped with those to be able to knock out creatures and artifacts when needed.
So, a little awkward on mana, having Ghost Quarter as your second land. Not the best thing, especially since the deck is so mana intensive.
Yeah, but again, the Vial helps with that. And we can honestly just use the Ghost Quarter to just start knocking Max off of some of his mana.
A little slow start. Turn 2 Thought Scar. It looks like he's continuing to set up his draws, following up with Serum Visions here. It's pretty interesting that the Thought Scours and Serum Visions it kind of allows Max to sculpt his game plan. Even though we had mentioned that he's a tempo deck, he's not really a control deck at heart. He still kind of has these lines where...
Yeah, they're also really, really good for your Tazigurs and your Gurmag Anglers. It allows you to keep your hands full as well as putting cards in the graveyard.
And he did leave 2 on top, so I expect he has some sort of plan for subsequent turns here.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing...
Is it Thought Knot Seer?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's Thought Knot Seer. So this is rough, right?
Yep.
We have the ability to Thought Knot Seer and Tide Hollow Scholar in the same turn now. Mm-hmm. So unless Max has triple removal spell, which I see double Dismember Terminate. So
I think that's Fatal Push.
Yeah, or Fatal Push,
two
Dismember.
Fatal Push
No, that one. Yeah, that's a Dismember with the Phyrexian.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So Fatal Push, Dismember, Terminate.
Okay.
That's a pretty solid hand.
Yep. A little slow out of the gates.
Yeah.
And it does seem like Max might be a little tied up on mana as well.
So I think I would have, rather than going Thought Scour myself, Serum Visions, I probably would have played one of the draw spells and then Thoughtseize to my opponent.
Okay.
Just because I know he's got 2 okay spells in his hand. I know I have a lot of removal, but rather than just letting him get something out of it,
mm-hmm.
I would, like to not let him have the Tide Hollow Scholar.
Mm-hmm.
Max being a kind young gentleman and leaving his cards up for his opponent and us as well. We thank you for that, Max.
Yep. Great for coverage.
Yeah.
Great for coverage. Way easier to do these things.
Yeah.
So I think this is.
I should probably do this on draw step.
Once it, I think this up. No, end step as well. Okay.
Interesting. I would have done that on draw step because it just gives you the free information.
Right. So I think here Max potentially a situation where he can kill the Thought-Knot Seer, see if he draws into their land, and then
we might have hit a draw spell.
I think he's on the Dismember here. Dismember Thought-Knot Seer. I think that's the first order of business.
It might be the Dismember.
Dismember Thought-Knot Seer. Yep. Cycle gets a card back.
Yeah, and we have the ability to Fatal Push the Tide Howler Sculler.
Fatal Push, Tide Howler Sculler, and Thoughtseize the Wasteland Strangler away. I think that might be. Oh, okay.
Got a Grandma Gangler.
Okay, that's also pretty spicy.
Yeah, and at that point, I'm okay with leaving the Sculler on the floor, so we can just go with the Thoughtseize, get rid of the Wasteland Strangler, let him have nothing else to do anything else with.
I agree.
And, hope that the top of his deck isn't better to him than one of the people I watched today.
Yeah, I guess he can just leave Fatal Push up here. I don't think he necessarily cares about Wasteland Strangler. It looks like he is just going to go ahead and take it.
Yeah, he's going for the Thoughtseize.
Yeah. He is at 9, though, just from his mana, the Thoughtseize, the Dismember. That stuff adds up, so.
I think Adam's best draws here are probably something like a Flicker Wisp. Be able to apply pressure to the board. That's really solid as well.
Okay, a little late now that the Gurmag Angler already hit the board.
Yeah.
But this does shut off Snapcaster Mages.
Yeah. So our Ambush Vipers aren't as good now. Time for 5. Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot. I don't really like the Rest in Peace personally, but it is a viable card against a deck like this. But you do need it early.
Right. The classic Aether Vial draw, redundant copies of Aether Vial when you have...
So, like, I have a huge amount of respect for Aether Vial. I love that card. I think it's phenomenal, but I won't ever play a deck with that card in it simply because of the redundancy of drawing more than one.
Right. It's the weird balance of you always want to draw the card, but never more than one.
want to draw the second.
Yeah.
Ever want to draw the second. Maybe we're supposed to play like a Jace Friends Prodigy in the deck, just so we can always loot away the second one.
Okay. That's a new to me, playing Aether Vial and Jace together in the same deck.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just got nothing. I just never want to see the second copy of Vial.
This does seem a little rough. I don't think Adam has an out here. Flicker Wisp can block. If he plays a...
We got a card still. What do you think? We got like a Reality Smasher in hand right now?
Possibly.
Right. We just have a card we haven't casted in a few turns, and we're getting attacked by a 5/5. Ooh, Thalia.
Okay. Thalia on trump blocking duty.
Well, she's... Oh, if we're at 4 already, then...
The fighters are ready! Daddy is ready! The refs are ready! Are you ready?
Correct exemplar on turn 2, attack you for 7.
Whoa.
We'll see
Have
you
a
next
good one,
week.
guys. Thank
12:30. We'll be back and better than ever.
Oh, I'm doing a dab.